Okay.
All right, guys, here we are. We're going to learn the deductible buyback program we have with TAPCO that helps us decrease people's deductibles because of the high wind and hail in our lovely state of Colorado. So from the main Apex page, we go to Kraft Lake under product platforms. Instead of going to the quoting area up here, we're going to hit personal lines and then scroll down, weather catastrophe TAPCO. Service login, just quick sign in here. Give this a second to load. And just remember, every time you decrease the deductible on anything, as far as insurance goes, it's going to make the premium increase. So this is just a way to, if you have that customer that doesn't like a higher deductible, the 1% or 2%, depending on the zip code, this could be a nice workaround to close that customer. Let's see. All right. From here, quote online. And then on the bottom here, wind deductible buyback. So it's wind and hail. Okay, get quote. Okay, so we're just going to do a residential for now, make it easy. Name, or do James. James Baker, his address, 830 James Street. Just look that up. 80501 Longmont. Oh my gosh. Next, that's simple. It's basically 2 pages and you get a number. So we're in Colorado, we're definitely 10 miles away from the coast. Your bill, let's just say 1970. Let's say the year the roof was replaced. That's 2020. We want all these to be accurate, but just for the sake of this demonstration, I'm just, making them up. Roof type, usually at asphalt shingle. That's the majority of the roofs. Construction of the home, usually frame. Let's say he has no losses in the past 5 years. This house didn't look huge. We'll put 500,000 on a rebuild. And the reason why we're usually doing this is because it's on a percentage basis of the rebuild cost. So percentage of coverage A, 500,000. Then we're going to do this for wind and hail. That's usually the main reason. And most zip codes are going to be 1%. Some go up to 2%. We're going to start this one at 1%. And the lowest we can go on this is 2,500. And then next, and we should get a number. So it's real quick. Basically, if they have an issue with the deductible, I would just tell them, say, okay, I can lower it, give me a minute, but it usually increases the price a little bit. So say his deductible was 1% of 500,000, that would be a $5,000 deductible. We're cutting that in half to 2,500, and now the deductible is 2,500, but it's going to increase the cost of the home insurance by $361.11. And all we have to do, this will be a separate policy, but all we have to do is with their either banking information or most likely their mortgage information, we would just add it here and complete the application, and it's all done. Pretty simple stuff. I don't know if anyone has any questions or wants to ask anything, but
I have a question.
Sure.
So is there do you require an underlying policy to write this quote?
Yes, we would. We would need an underlying policy.
Is there any limitations to that? Like any minimums or?
As far as the
like the rebuild or the
rebuild cost. I think it would just have to make sense because there's the lowest they will go for this is 2,500.
Mhm.
And it looks
Sure.
like this is probably the lowest it'll add for as far as the quotes we've done. Looks like this is probably the lowest it'll add to it. But it just has to make sense with this $2,500 um, deductible they have, right? So
Yeah.
if the house is too low, it wouldn't make much sense. I think it would make much sense as far as the 1% going till, what do you think? 300,000, you could save, I guess they could save about $500 if it was a $3,000 deductible and going to 2,500. I think that might be the probably lowest you would want to do.
What would it look like at 2%?
Price wise?
Yeah. Could we do an example at 2%? See what that
Yeah.
looks
Yeah, let's say this was 2% here. So $10,000 deductible. So this is going to get more expensive. The price is because this company is going to pay out the deductible for your home insurance company. So they're stating that they're going to pay that 10,000 towards your
That
insurance, right?
that makes sense.
yeah.
And
That-
you only have to pay them 2,500. So it should get more expensive.
Yeah, because someone might not have 10,000 saved up,
Right,
So
right.
this kind of fills in the blank.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Okay, so yeah, 619. So almost doubled it. It's a little under double of what it was. It was 361. So now it's right under 620. So I don't know. I think it's a pretty good maneuver. So that'll be what's this right here is what's tacked on to the homeowner insurance. We would just put their mortgage information or their banking information, whatever way they pay their home insurance. We would just use that same information to pay this number right here. And then the applicant's retention is basically their deductible.
How long is the term for this?
They're annual policies. So they would renew. Ideally, we would do this when we do their home policy. Maybe we could do it in the middle if someone calls in and that would, they would call in and say they want, to change this or what, maybe we could do that. But ideally, it would just coincide with your homeowner policy for the annual policy.
What about if they are the homeowner and they don't have a mortgage? So can they do monthly with this?
Yeah. Like I said, they could do their mortgage or their banking information.
Okay.
Yeah, so they could do a monthly with it or just pay it off.
Okay, cool.
And I'd have to get back to you on if it's cheaper if they paid in full, but I don't believe it is. I honestly don't believe it is. I think this is the number. That's what it's at.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Cool.
All right. Any other questions? Pretty easy. Like I said, it's a 2-page application. You basically fill out their info and then this info here, right? So it's pretty easy.
One thing I'm not sure about is this a separate payment or is this added to the homeowner's policy?
I mean, I would just basically, I would say it's added to the homeowner's policy, but it would be two separate applications, right? It'll be two separate payments, but it's for your homeowner insurance. I would say it's just an additional application for your homeowner's insurance.
So basically, when you quote somebody a homeowner's policy, you can give them a cheap like a more affordable policy with a higher deductible. But the problem is you can't, if something were to happen, you can't afford that deductible, right? So this is the solution to say, okay, I'm going to pay this extra little fee to make sure that I can have an affordable deductible and still affordable homeowners policy. And if something goes bad, I pay them, they pay the deductible that they couldn't afford, right? Okay.
Right. Yep. This is a 3%, so 15,000. So this company Tabco would pay, say, 15,000 to farmers, and then it would cost you $1,241. So, pretty definitely more affordable than that $15,000 deductible, right? Because what they would do, they would take that 15,000 and subtract it from what they would pay out for that roof. Say the roof cost 30,000, they would pay you 15, and then you would have to use that 15 to fix your roof and whatever other money it would cost to fix the roof. Or maybe you could fix the roof for 15, I don't know, but that's a different story. But that's how the deductible would work. Or if you did this, they would pay 12.5 towards your insurance, farmers, right? And instead of you only getting 15,000 from that $30,000 payout, they would pretty much deduct this 2,500 from that. They would pay 12.5 for your deductible, and then so you get 15 plus this 12.5, so you'd get 27.5.
Cool.
So I think it's good stuff. It's a good way to get people to kind of accept that higher deductible, but they're not getting a higher deductible, because every time you lower the deductible, it increases your premium. For your
No.
car, for instance, you have $1,000 deductibles on your comprehensive and collision coverage. If you were to change that to $500, it would make your monthly, or your, however you pay, if you paid in 6 months, it would make that more expensive, right? So it's just another form to try to retain business.
Is this only applicable to homeowners insurance?
No, it has a commercial aspect of it as well.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yep. So if you have a commercial building, we could definitely do it as well. So it doesn't have it for vehicles at this time, but it does have it for commercial property as well.
Now
Which
say
that could be really good also. So
say somebody has a claim. Do they have to also call Tapco, or is this something that automatically kicks in?
so yeah, we'd have to, I believe how the claim process works, we'd have to call Tapco as well. So
Okay.
you definitely want to just reach out to both of them.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah. And they would, and then they would, and then, they would disperse payment.
Anything else for the Tapco? I'll go ahead and wrap it up, the recording.
Perfect.